to my channel, Love Storyteller Tarot. My name is Jeanette and this is the full moon reading in the archetype of Capricorn for July 9th, 2017. And we had, what was it in the Cancerian, wasn't it? The new moon one. So remember that cycle from the new moon to the full moon is about building on things, and then you get to the full moon and it's letting go. You know, it builds up because the moon's all about emotions, and you know, they build up, and because you're having to release something, it's a cycle and it's layers. You're releasing different layers. I was speaking to somebody the other day and they were saying they don't feel as though, you know, they're moving forward and that they're just going over the same stuff over and over again. And I said, maybe look at it a different way, a different perspective, as in, you know, it's like that onion. You know, we hear this all the time. It's about the onion and it's about the layers. And what happens with an onion, you know, when you peel it, it for some reason makes you cry, brings tears to your eyes. So, and it's very symbolic, you know, you're shedding those tears. And so I said, just think that you've gone through one level, you've gone through one layer, and now you're going down to another one. It's never the same. Don't ever think that your hard work isn't getting you anywhere. And like I say in my book, you know, all the hard work that you do on yourself, which is working through this devil archetype, is the gift you get to give somebody else. And you know, and you're able to stay more centered in yourself and be more loving in, you know, in your ways, and that's the gift you give to others, and then they're able to, you know, feel safe around you and able to express themselves, so that, you know, healing can occur. And it is about healing those wounds, and that's very much about this card. So the Cancerian was all, you know, it's all about family, it's about emotional ties, you know, your siblings, your close family, bonds with people that aren't your blood relatives, but really deep bonds with people. And I think there is something about a reconciliation, and that could be with anyone, not just romantic, but, you know, every relationship you heal then puts you in good stead to either attracting somebody that's, you know, different to your past, or if you're in a relationship, you know, taking it to the next level, taking it up to the next level, because you grow, you cultivate and you grow soulmate relationships. You know, fate plays its part. You signed your contract upstairs, they agreed, yes, I'll meet you at this certain time on your timeline, I'll do a dance or two with you, and that's going to teach you something which will prepare you and get you ready to be with the next person. And that Cancerian energy was all about that. It's all about family and bonds, and you know, and then, you know, get you ready for the next person. And that's where I talk about, you know, trying not to label things, because if you get this card, so it can be about fixating and obsessing, because it comes under addictions, but usually that's within ourselves. You know, we're fighting this energy within ourselves instead of integrating and learning from it. And so this one, because I'm not sure, but I think Capricorn is its opposite or something. I think Cancer represents the mother. I'm not sure if it's Capricorn represents the father. I'm not too sure. But you know, it's very much about being chained. You know, they're chained here. This is ruled by Saturn, this card, because it's about tests. It's about tests for yourself, because that's why certain people in your contracts, you know, come along and help you grow your relationship to a soulmate level. You know, it just doesn't happen. You know, that's a bit of an illusion and a fantasy, and romanticizing around that romantic heart, and not having, you know, coming from the spiritual heart, which is true love. But that, you know, you do have that opportunity. Fate brings the person in, and you and them, because of free will, decide whether, you know, they stay in your life or you stay in theirs, etc. And then your contracts come to an end. Wherever there's abuse happening to the extent that, you know, it's really bad, then that contract has ended. It's time to leave. So this Capricorn energy is like, it's about the material world. So entrapments, and they can be shown in different ways. You know, escapism, as in there's something to do with Mars and Pluto in this full moon. Something coming to a head, and so there could be, because of the Mars energy, a lot of aggression, and it feels like things have been simmering where relationships are concerned. They've been simmering like a pot, but it hasn't had one of those what's it valves on the top where the steam can keep gently coming out so it doesn't explode. It seems that this pot has been sealed on there, and it gets to a point where it could, if you're not conscious, because this is very dark, as in it looks like night time. So there's something about being in the dark about something, and you know, the full moon is about making something that was unconscious conscious, bring it to the light so that, you know, you can see it. So, you know, it's around it. You've got to be careful and look at, are you, you know, whether it's somebody new coming in or the relationship you're already in. Was that based on lust, or was it based on love? And, you know, money, materialism, that's all around this sort of energy. But, you know, the Capricorn energy, because that's what it comes under, it's all about steadfastness. And, you know, it's the goat, and it takes its time going up, and then going up the mountain, and then going that way. It doesn't go direct. It's, you know, bit by bit, but it's steadfast, and the energy is keep going. And because it's very much about, Capricorn is very much about the 10th house, which is businesses and goals, which I think on a collective level, you know, the universe is shaking things up for people to be more in contact with their creative sides, and a lot of self-employment is being asked of people, alongside maybe their employment, that would produce income, but also be of service in raising the consciousness on a collective level. And here in the UK, you know, we've had bombs over the last 2 or 3 months in London, and awful times. And the one just now was about the tower, a tower block that is like in the posher part of London, which is the city. And if you look at it symbolically, wow, my heart just, I can't even think about it, because the visions of what happened. But anyway, look at it symbolically. It's a tower block, and then if you think of the tower card in the tarot pack, you know, it's about that block. There was something, it's not been confirmed, but there was something about how it was built. So if you think of that symbolically to your relationship, how something's built, on what foundation was it built, and they put certain stuff on the building so it looked a bit more nicer for the people that were around coming into the area. A lot of politics behind that, but I'm not going to go into that. I'll get on my soapbox. But yeah, and then literally a tower inferno, and you know, symbolically, it has to come down. Something has to, you've got to come out the dark, you've got to come into the light, and be very, very aware of the material side of life. And, you know, are you in lust and not in love? There is a difference. There's chemistry, but that could be to do with past relationships, you know, and you're wanting now to experience true love. So there can be, or maybe for those that are coupled, because this is about somebody having power over you, or you giving your power away to a person or a situation. Like I said, addictions, obsession, or maybe one of the partners is addicted to a substance or something. It's like addictive behavior patterns. So that plays out also, but it's about somebody having control over you, or you're having control over somebody else. So there would be manipulation there, which goes back to the new moon one, or the Sagittarius one. You know, Sag is all about bringing out the truth. In the last 2.5 years, you know, it's been in Saturn has been in Sagittarius, and we've seen all those dark things that have been led under the surface and brought up to the surface to be seen, to do with a lot of things in the media. So it's getting even more and more intense. This is a very intense full moon, so you need to be aware and prepared, so that on some occasions you don't make mountains out of molehills. You know, you've got to be channeling, because it's that Mars energy and Pluto energy. You've got to be channeling that energy into something, whether that's exercise or a project or whatever it is. You know, you've got to be really, really aware and to know what's going on with you and your relationships. Right, so let's see what the tarot cards want to say. You know, because this is very much the opposite, is because it's number 15 and 1 and 5 is 6, so it does connect to the Lover's card for me anyway. And you know, it's the same image, but you've got the angel instead of the devil, but you know, it's symbolic, and it's just saying, you know, it's like the shadow parts of the ego, isn't it? And having a devil on one side and an angel on the other, and well, it's no difference to good and bad, if you want to put it that way. And but you know, it's but the Capricorn energy is a lovely energy, and very loyal. But let's see what the tarot cards want to say, please, for this full moon on July 9th, 2017. It is so hot here today, and I'm not gonna complain, because it's absolutely lovely, but it literally just falls on us just like that. It can be cold one day and then literally in the 30s the next day, but it's absolutely lovely. Okay, so this is to do with relationships and you know, strong bonds coming together. It's a 2, so you're talking about engagements, marriage, you know, like commitments, and that can be in friendships, because it's all about relationships. That can be in friendships, that can be romantic, that can be business. It comes up in business as well, because there's always a part of the emotional there. And Capricorn, there, you know, Saturn is about commitment. It's also about timing, and I think now up until the end of this year, I think things maybe will get more intense as Saturn comes out of Sagittarius in December, I believe, don't quote me on it, and then goes into Capricorn. So yeah, so this is about a relationship, and it's upright, so something very positive in the past, but now, so something that was positive, a couple coming together, because 2 is about being together. It's not the ace where you're sensing the energy, you're sensing somebody coming in, and you know, it's all those lovely feelings, but not having the physical, tangible person in front of you. But this is very much about, you know, 2 people joining. But now, in the here and now, something's happened, and it's causing anxiety and problems. So it's about, you know, it feels like getting your wish, and then not being able to, the ego comes into play, you know, getting your wish, and then the ego comes into play, and the battle starts. But this is somebody who can be, it's on the mental level, you see, so you can be suffering from, maybe suffering from depression, low self-esteem, you know, but this is something that's keeping you up at night, and it's draining your energy. I mean, she's flat out on the bed, but she's awake, so it's somebody who's not sleeping. But she does have her one hand on one sword, which is that Ace of Swords, which is that sword of truth, and it can come across as being, you know, the drama queen, but it's because there's trauma there, you see, trauma from past life, well, your past and possibly past life as well. But there is, people act out because, you know, it's that fight or flight mode. And a lot of people are stressed on a mental level to do with relationships, and that's in the here and now. So feeling, or you will be around this time. Remember, there's great intensity. Can you see that? I've actually probably put that too far away. I'm not going to bother playing with that now at the moment. Yeah, because this is the Sun card. Is about finding clarity, and it's next to the mental thoughts, and there isn't that clarity, because this is about finding, feeling confident, upright. It's feeling confident, feeling good about yourself, feeling good about your life. But on a mental level, it seems to be on a mental level that there seems to be beliefs to do with partnerships, you know, old thinking patterns or behaviours, that's coming up to be reviewed. And this is like not gaining the clarity and no confidence, and you know, this is very much being in the limelight and you know, shining the light for others to see, but in reverse it's not. So we'll get some more cards out to have a look, see what's going on. But yeah, there's something to do with this relationship in the past. Either one or both parties was working hard, because the ones are very much about creativity, so businesses, working hard, not being able to say no. So maybe that's also another part of this not being able to say no. And it's okay to say no, because you've got to have time for yourself. So it's about discerning, you know, if you're in a coupled relationship, and you don't want to repeat those patterns, it's about discerning. It's about that give and take. You know, if one person is giving too much and the other one isn't, then that needs to be balanced because of work-life balance. And you know, they're saying, oh well, I'm working all hours, and you know, there needs to be something said for these cups to be given to each other on an emotional level, to give your hearts. Or that could be a business, that could be something to do with business and needing a partnership, or certainly in the past, but that can be the energies also coming in. You know, it's like oppression. It's like feeling, oh, the weight is on my shoulder, to do with a relationship, and to do with, you know, this is very much spiritual card as well. He's trying to get to the castle, you see, which is your kingdom. It's like achieving something, either in a coupled relationship or a business partnership. But this is not being able to delegate, and you know, it's like, oh, if you want a job done well, you've got to do it yourself, sort of thing. And wanting to be liked, there is very much that energy with this card, wanting to be liked. So therefore doesn't want to say no, either to somebody in the partnership, that there's love there. There's love there, it's upright, there's love there. And then somebody's feeling exhausted because of that. And, you know, their light is being drained, and they don't feel joyful and happy. Oh, and I was saying about the Tower, and this is what's at the heart of the matter. And well, yesterday there was a power cut for one of the supermarkets, just as it was closing time, actually, so they couldn't open the tills. If you had, you know, you had to have cash to pay for the food, that people were already there, and that was a blessing for my sister. So she got quite a bit of food for very little money yesterday. But then last night, our own home, the power went. So the alarm was going, and it was our alarm in the whole little cul-de-sac. So, and I'm thinking, great, what's that about? Because obviously an alarm is trying to get your attention, and that's very much about this card, trying to get your attention about something. Because like I said, that steamer, and if you've got that certain valve, then the steam comes out slowly. If not, it boils and boils and boils, and then you get the explosion. And it looks like I said about that Mars energy at the beginning, because I'm not an astrologer, but I know maybe one of the astrologers was saying about the Pluto and the Mars energy, and opposite to the sun and moon or something. But it's very much, very intense, this full moon. And this is like, expect the unexpected, because I think if you can expect the unexpected, even though you don't know what it's going to be, you can be more prepared and more centered in yourself, so that you can deal with what's going to happen, rather than it being a total shock. That's why I try and get these, I post these out on the new moon, so you've got that 2-week cycle to integrate the new moon to the full moon, and knowing maybe what's coming next, because these are general readings. It may be for only a few people, so but this is about the Mars energy, arguments, conflicts, but it's needed. It's needed. There's something that's been brewing. There's something that's been brewing. Relationships that were based on love and not love, lust and not love. You know, desire around chemistry, and confusing sexual chemistry for love. Those relationships that have been built on that, and then realizing a bit later, oh, hang on a minute, this isn't working for me, because you were in the dark about something, unconscious about something, not aware of your actions, because it's like the sleepwalking card. You know, when you're unconscious, you're sleepwalking, you're on automatic pilot. But it looks like around this Capricorn full moon, there's going to be some sort of explosion, as in, you know, something needs to be torn down, because the foundation it was built on was not sustainable, where love's concerned. And, you know, something that's keeping people up at night and worrying, and that can be obviously in the media and on a collective level, but yeah, that's what's at the heart of the matter. And is the addiction, because this is like the workaholic card, because of materialism. I'm getting keeping up with the Joneses. There's so many people in debt with credit cards, and you know, living above their means, and I just feeling that this energy needs to stop. And it just feels like I just felt that steamer, and something's gonna bubble, and something that's been suppressed is just gonna come out, and it's about using that energy wisely so that there isn't the destruction of hurting anyone else, or you know, hurting yourself, because usually we put it towards ourselves. So maybe out in the world, something around this full moon might happen, because it's about argument. Mars is the planet of it's the wars and warrior energy, but anyway, but there will be something left to build on of value. There will be, and that what will be left will be love, okay, because these masks and these illusions, that they need to come down. And this can even be like a shock move, because it can be around a home, so a property, unexpected move, could be to do with work. So you know, it could be if you're renting a property, then the landlord says, well, I'm selling up, and you know, you're giving your notice to leave. It can be something like that, because it's that Mars energy, or it could be anything in that area, or your foundation of your home, because remember, it's foundations. And that tower block in London, I mean, what comes out of it, like I said, there's love. What comes out of it is love. It's the people on the street, it's the people with money, but people without money, they're the ones. The council wasn't doing anything. It was the people on the street. It's the people that's going to say, you know, it's got to change. It's got to change. And I think this is what's happening. It's voicing conflict, but you have to have conflict in your relationships. It's okay, you know, don't be fearful, don't be scared of it, because it breaks that energy. And then, you know, because otherwise you're being codependent and you're saying things to keep a lid on it. You know, this is the steamer, this is the bit where it's just boom, and there's the fire. And you're keeping a lid on something. So whatever you've been keeping a lid on is going to come to its peak around this full moon in Capricorn, around, you know, your material life, the spiritual. A lot of people are waking up, more people now, and especially the masculine energy. I wrote in my book, you know, in 2012, well, I wrote it in 2009, but in 2012 that I think it was in Libra, Saturn was in Libra, and I said then that the masculine is going to be you know, becoming more conscious and more aware of their actions. And that's same-sex couples, it doesn't matter, it's the masculine energy. Something, because this is oppression, you see, like I was saying, there's a feeling of something being oppressed, and that steamer, and then you can only take so much of it. Everybody has their limits, and this card is very much about limits, knowing your limits. And then it just reaches a point, and it's warm, and something has to come down. the oppression, no more, no more. And this can be very symbolic to what's happening in the world at the moment, because remember, it's on a collective level. The guides are able, the guides are called guides for a reason. They're there to guide you. They're not there to tell you what to do. They're there to guide you in accordance to your soul contract, to what you agreed to before you came here. And it's guidance only. Nobody can be forced to do anything, but you will be getting the whispers, or you have been getting the whispers. The problem is, when like I say in my book, I know I keep saying about my book, but when we don't listen to the whispers, we get the shout. This is the shout. This is what happens. And for some, it's an illness, a critical illness. For some, they lose their home. Or it could be any scenario, but that's the shout, okay? Because we're not listening to the whispers. And clearly there's something that I'm not as much. I'm really probably not conscious of it at all. There's something probably deep rooted and unconscious that I'm not aware of, because of the alarm, and it was our alarm that went off. So there's something there to do with work, oppression, a relationship. I'm just sensing and feeling this energy so strongly. And it's all around the Queen of Pentacles. This is to get to the Queen of Pentacles. She is the Capricorn, the Taurian, the Virgo energy, all around stability. Because remember, this foundation that it's been built up wasn't secure, wasn't safe, and wasn't built upon naturally with nature. It was built because it's man-made card, so it was built on man-made values, not spiritual values, whatever that means to you. Everybody's different. But it's to do with it's the Capricorn reading. So for Sun, Moon and Rising Capricorns, it's going to be affecting us more. So it'll probably be, well, that's in the future, but it's to get her to this stage. And she's very much like a superwoman. She's very much, she can do many tasks at one time. She can get up, get the kids ready, get herself ready, do her emails, get everything organised, get the lunches ready, get the dinner prepared for the night. And she's a very busy woman, a superwoman. She's so loving, warm and caring. She's got her companion down here, and she really cares about her family and her friends, communities, and she's a service, and comes up very much the Virgo energy, which is about being a service. Carers, very much about carers in different ways, but yeah. She is a superwoman, and there's not much she can't do, and very practical, down to earth, and she gets things done. So there's something to do with her, and there you go. The element shows up in the reading because it's about some form of clarity, and this is to do with a marriage partner. Like I said, it could be to do with there's been oppression in a relationship in the past. It's either to do with work because of the material side, like I said, keeping up with the Joneses, and this all needs to change. This comes very much under for marriage. It's about knowledge, education, learning something. and it's around the masculine and the feminine. It's about learning to balance the two energies within, but also, you know, it represents owning your own femininity or your own masculinity. Same-sex couples, it doesn't matter, whichever is the dominant for you. It's owning that and crossing that. But the male energy needs the female, and the female needs the masculine, you know. It's about joining, because it's tradition. It's about a marriage, about coming together, and this is very much about that. But it looks like what got in between, or what's got in between, is work. It looks like work has taken over because of the in the past. But yeah, this is for what needs to happen. What's the time? I need to get it all in, don't I? What needs to happen? This is going to happen so that a new perception can be born. A new perception, a new idea. It's about seeing things from a high level, you know, from a higher level, a higher domain, and an eagle's vision. They see for many miles. They can see the slightest thing, but they pick up on movement. They're not actually, oh, is that a rabbit, or is that a hare, whatever prey there is on the floor. They don't think, oh, I had a rabbit yesterday, I'm not going to have it today. You know, they go by movement. So there's going to be a new perception, a new concept. It's about a new concept. The old's got to go to do with relationships, because this mental attitude, no coincidence that it's like that. So, you know, this thinking pattern causes depression because of suppression. It's not about being submissive towards the masculine. If women are scared of that, it's not about being submissive, it's about surrendering. There's a difference, and it's about owning your femininity and being in that. But yeah, something that's keeping you up at night, there's a head, it's going to come to a head. It's going to come to a head, and it needs to, because there's a shake-up call, because this new perception around institutions, marriage institution, tradition, it's a new dawning now, a new dawn, a new spirituality, a new way. Even the old spiritual way needs to go, because we're on a different level now. You know, you're taking it to a different level, and this new perception comes from that. And as much as it might, you know, rock our boat, rock our worlds, it needs to happen. And it needs to happen because the Queen of Coins needs to become the Queen of Cups also. So, you know, she needs to be in her femininity, you know, in her emotional side. She's got bare feet here, and you know, she's very much the mature and expressing herself. You know, this is all about expressing your feelings, and that's why it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Why it's happening, because there's some form of there's not any clarity there for this Queen, and it could be for some that these are two different people. Like I said, that will come under the Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and then the water sign, which is the new moon one. So that she could come under a mother, that energy, because it's all about family, that one, which is Cancerian, Scorpio, Pisces. So it could be a different person, or it could be an aspect of yourself that is needing to come out, okay? So it'd be different for different people. They are general readings, but we've got 1, 2, 3 major arcanas and one underneath. See, what's going on underneath is the Scorpio. is death, transformation, and you know, for the betterment of all. And that's why it's going to, something's going to happen, because something needs to come to an end, so that something new can be born. This new perception, because it's an ace, new perception can be born, really. And this is like an end of a chapter. It feels like an end of a chapter, the end of this codependency, bondage, you know, karmic relationships, or the energy, the pattern of it. Let's get these cards out as oh, well, the book is about the unknown, or the book is also about patience, because it's closed, you see, in this particular set. It's closed, it's not open. So maybe somebody's not an open book, and that's probably been the problem in the relationship. You know, they didn't wear their heart on their sleeve, is what I'm getting. And this is all about a story, you know. You just don't know what that book is. That could be religion, so that could be you know, a coming together, a marriage proposal in that sense. So but it's the book of the unknown, something that wasn't known, need to be patient as to what that partnership was about. Right, heart of the matter. I've got the fan on, so I hope it hasn't picked up on the recording, but fingers crossed. Everybody's decided to mow their lawns today. Right, because this is an event. An event, you see. On its own, it stands as an event. It also represents movement, you know, and it is a stalk. And I was saying something about a home. This can be about losing a home, or a sudden move, because it is about movement. And stalks do land on, in certain countries, on the homes, which is to bless it, you know, is to say that it's a blessing, because stalks are about babies, the old saying. You know, didn't come from the womb, a stalk brought me. So yeah, this is either something social or an event. It represents an event, really, and movement. Something that was stagnant, you know, it will be coming to a head. Will be, so some form of event. It might not be you. It might be somebody around you if you're watching the video. And then you need to be a support to that person. Yeah, see, this is the night seems very dark, because it is dark. You've got the moon out there, and then you've got all the swords. So you know, but it is the 9. You get the 10 next, which is the betrayal, you know. I'm thinking, oh, if only I'd have trusted my intuition. So there is anxiety, so it is coming up as maybe panic attacks in the present. So it will be around that, usually 3 days before and 3 days after the full moon is its most powerful, you know, where there's accidents, arguments, things like that. But you know, if you watch this beforehand, then you are having a headset, like I said, to be able to deal with the situation. At the end of the day, life is life. Things and events, because this is an event, is going to happen. The only power we have is whether we react to it coming from this, the material side of life, and not believing in anything else. Or whether we respond, you know. And those people in London, they responded, you know, it's called responders, the ambulance team, the firefighters, bless them, I start to get all emotional in a minute. You know, they're responders, they're first aid responders, and I just get goosebumps. So love is dominant, and that this is something full of anxiety and nervousness that's keeping this person up, to do with something that, to do with this relationship, that something was unknown possibly, and it needed patience, and you know, there wasn't. But this is very much, yeah, so it could be somebody who's suffering with depression, like I said, or post-traumatic stress disorder, very much trauma, because this is the Scorpio. 13, 1 in 3 is 4. It's about stability and bringing stability to a situation, but you know, you have to go through these cycles, because this is a cycle, so that there is healing there, for anybody that is going through you know, the post-traumatic stress disorders, because there's healing there, because and get out for healing, get out in the sunshine. Vitamin D is needed, I'm noticing, even if it's just 15 minutes a day, and get out in the sunshine so that some healing can happen, because it's very powerful. Yeah, that's all to do with thoughts and you know, oppressive thoughts. So, you know, think in a certain way, about like low self-esteem, workaholic, thinking only one way, but the sun is peering through there, it is coming through, thinking only one way. Like I said, that this mental, I think it's on the mental level, this breakdown to get a breakthrough of people's thinking. There's going to be a catalyst. Like I said, if you don't listen to the whispers, you're going to get the shouts. There has to be an event, it seems, because people are in the dark. They don't want to see something that's keeping them bonded to something or a person, you know, controlling situation. So, but she is the key to success. This, you know, the archetype of the Queen of Pentacles, she is the Queen of Success, and she has the answers. Being her, she has the answers. It could be a catalyst, it could be somebody you know, or it could be you yourself. So, you know, see who, and for the masculine, you know, they could be that in the future, you might not have met them. These could be your potential partners. It could be a choice between a earth sign and a water sign for the masculine, or same-sex couples. You know what I mean, as you've been watching my videos anyway. So yeah, this is what needs to change around institutions, and you know, yeah, institutions which comes under government. Like I said, it was the people on the ground that was helping the people that was in that situation. It wasn't the government, but because of the people, then, you know, they had to come up with something. So that's what needs to change. And this is all around security and stoicism, standing your ground, and anchoring something, you know, staying put. But a new concept around security is what's coming up here, and that'll be different for a lot of people. And there's the moon, and she very much represents the moon, you know, Queen of Cups. Because the moon represents Cancer, so very much the Cancerian lady, by the looks of it, is showing herself. But she is all about expressing your feelings, because the moon is all about emotions, expressing your emotions, so that you know, so that you can change those emotions into feelings, because that's what the Mars is. It's emotions. They're not feelings, they're emotions. I just see them a bit differently, that's all. But yes, look, both on a horse, and you know, on this particular card, a lot of red, a lot of flames, fire, so it's very much connected to this one, which is the element of fire. But we do have earth and water and air, we have them all in there. And the 4, is the 4 the high priest? I think it is. No, is he 5? He's 5. The emperor is 4. 16, you see, is the tower, because you get the 15, materialism, and then you get the card that's next is the tower, number 16. But 1 and 6 is 7, which is that spiritual number, which is that being on the right path. And the other one was the chariot. The new moon was the chariot, number 7, and being on the right path. To put people on the right path. But there's some sort of news that's going to put an end to something, and a new chapter. So this is some news that has been long awaited is coming in. Let's just have some clarity on the major arcana, the tower card, to give us some guidance. We already know it's an event, but please, Spirit, may we have some clarity on the tower. I'm feeling really emotional, so something. So this is the 7 of Pentacles. So it represents harvest, you know. But this chap, he looks knackered. He's been working hard, but he's not really seeing the fruits of his labour. That's the impression I get from this card. You know, it's like, well, I've worked so hard, and remember the 10 of Wands here, because of the oppression. I've worked so hard, but I'm just not getting the rewards, and you know, the events isn't coming. But there's going to be an event. It's going to shake things up, and to make this happen, really. And it's to do with an emotional situation where there's been some form of regret, because this chappie can't move on, masculine or feminine. You know, they can't move on a material level, on a, you know, financially. It seems to be stuck on the 7. And so maybe something, because the 6 comes before the 7, maybe there was a benefactor, and maybe there was something that happened, but now it's not. It's like, well, which way do I go? Which one of these coins do I choose? Which one is going to bring me the fruition? Because on the other, the Telema tarot, you know, she's there with a basket, but it's empty. And it's to do with an emotional situation that somebody's just like so focused on regrets and grieving, and they're not seeing the 2. They're not seeing the 2 behind them. And that's the book on there, you know. Remember, it's about rewriting your stories, that new moon coming up to this one. They're just so focused on the 3. But if they turned their back and they saw the 2, what they'd also see in their view is that there's a bridge there and the castle's there. And that's what this person's trying to reach, is the castle. The castle's in there. So, yeah, to do with 7 again, to do with fantasies and illusions. But what's it's saying is there are options, but you've got to be discerning about the options. That's there in front of you. There is something, but somebody's so focused on holding a grudge, that sort of thing. So have we got time? 40:54. I don't think we have. I think that's the most important card. Yeah, that's the most important card. Let's see what the romance angels want to say. And obviously if you need any support or you need to go deeper into the a reading, then please reach out. But please do the contact form first to see if there's availability there. I haven't worked the calendar thingy out yet. We're working on that now. Most important messages, they're saying to stay optimistic, okay? Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance, and because that's not being positive, that's a belief system, a thought that's just been gone over and over and over again, which then becomes a belief. That's what it's rooted in the ground, and that's what the Scorpio is about. That Scorpio, is it full moon and new moon, is about going deep, like that tooth, getting the root out. If you did that, then those of you that are actually doing the work, then you know you will get your rewards. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So stay optimistic about your love lives. You know, you've got to free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life, because the Devil card is about somebody having power over you. What's that? Bridesmaids, the film Bridesmaids, in the song, you know, hold on for one more day. Break free from the chains. It's that one, you know. It's about not allowing somebody, even if you're in a relationship, but not allowing somebody to have dominance over you, not allowing somebody to have control over you or wanting control over you. It's about freeing yourself and taking control back, is what they're saying. Keep optimistic, because there is true love on the cards, but you've got to free yourself first. And the true love is towards yourself. This is a romance of a lifetime. So I do feel that many people on a collective level, we are in between worlds, and I'm running out of time, but there is true love there, and that's about you know, being good to yourself. It's two people that come together 50-50. He or she loves themselves and vice versa, and they're freeing themselves from entrapment. But please stay optimistic around this time. There is true love to be had, but this is what's got to happen. This is what's got to happen. Okay, if you want to pause your video and ask your question now, as I'm not allowed to go over the thingy. So they're saying wait. Okay, I think they're saying it's not a no, but it's not the right time. So whatever that is for you, and whatever question you've just asked now. Do I have time? Your situation is going to require a little patience, and that's what that book is on that one. And remember Archangel Michael, it said don't be in a hurry to make this decision. So require a little patience. Your angels are not saying no, but they are saying not yet. Sometimes heaven needs a little extra time to make all the pieces fall perfectly into place. Remember that each card is a piece of the puzzle that then becomes the bigger picture, but there's something unknown. What you're asking for may have an effect on the lives of others, which is about free will. When that occurs, it can take additional preparation to make sure that everyone's needs are seen to. Be patient, which is that one, so that all who are involved can have the experience they're meant to have. You know, you can't force things, is what they're saying. And then we just end with whispers of love. Very intense full moon. They're saying to demonstrate your love, find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. So that's the message they're leaving you with, really. There we go. I hope that helps, and please like, share and subscribe, and thank you to those that do. Please reach out for your personal readings, and I'll be back here for the new moon. Lots of love. Namaste.